And number 3, I am so excited about this, Melly. Our Pathfinder character tools will be going into closed alpha at the end of November. We haven't announced a specific date yet, but by the end of November, we're expecting, assuming that everything goes well, fingers crossed, all that jazz, to have the early access open for, the first set of invites to go out. What can you tell us about that?
I can tell you that it's incredibly exciting. I've been very hands-on on this project, and there are so many moving parts and so many, again, like we don't have a big employee base here, but we do have a lot of dedicated teams, and a lot of times we'll have things that we're working on that it's like, this is just this team.
Right.
This one is like everybody is involved from top to bottom. And there's so much that's going into it, and I cannot wait for people to start to get to interact with it and see it. So as we get into that, that's going to be, like Josh said, a closed alpha. So if you want to be involved in that, that is going to be for people who have purchased a Demiplane membership.
Yep. Or anyone who has unlocked content. There'll be candidates for the closed alpha when we start sending out invites here around the end of the month.
And we want to get feedback. So we want to hear things like, when you build your Pathfinder character using this tool, does that help? Does that make it faster? Does it make it easier? Are you finding the things that you need to find without encountering, major issues? When you have the sheet after you've built it, is the information that you need easy to find?
Right.
Are we surfacing the right information? Is there something that we're missing? So those are the things that we want to hear as you start to play with it. But I feel like personally, like just the experience of going through Pathfinder, which I love, I think it's going to make it so much easier to get started. Like it's going to kind of lower that barrier to entry that like if you have not played the game before, if you've not made a character in the game before, you can probably like cut the time to make your character and to get involved by a lot. So that's what we're really hoping that you all experience when you start to play around in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of just to elaborate that, I'll kind of repeat something that Adam has said on a dev update before. Initially, we're not looking for feedback on like how it works in terms of group play, so much as it's really just, okay, this is the character sheet. Does this meet all of your needs? Or this is the character builder. Does the way that information is laid out make sense to you as someone who is passionate about Pathfinder? Is this something that is meeting all of the needs? Or do we need to go back and actually refine this and refine that and hey, maybe switch the order of information displayed? Then once we get kind of past that point in early access, that's when I'm sure we'll open it up to a lot more folks and also start to, at that point, allow folks to start testing with groups and say, okay, how can I use this to make the gameplay experience better with a whole group? So lots of fun things going on there, but one step at a time. We got to make sure that it does what it's supposed to on a small scale first before we can open up the floodgates and say, hey, everybody come on in. It's time to play some games, but it's coming real soon.
And that really is like why it's that closed alpha and it's for the members first, is that it is, these are the people that really have the highest investment. And so before we give it to everybody else, we want you to tell us if we're in the right spot in the right direction and we're doing the right thing here, and it's the thing that we want to then explode into everything else that will come.
Yeah. So that's exciting. It's coming real soon. I've got some footage of what it looks like that's been playing while we've been talking. I'm very stoked. As you can tell, it looks crisp and clean. Incredible. So we're gonna keep cruising, but just know that this is in the back of my head for the rest of our conversation today.